Good morning, my name is Denise and welcome to Suncoast Crafting. Today we will use Diamond Dotz Fabric Roll, grid with adhesive, and a light pad to finish our project. I'm referring to this method as a sandwich because I'm using a light pad on the bottom, the pattern in the middle, and the fabric on top. I used the terms counted cross-stitch method and sandwich method because that's how I relate to these techniques using the gridded fabric with adhesive. Leisure Arts, who owns Diamond Dotz, calls these methods the counting method and the light pad method. Do you have better labels? Please add your thoughts in the comments below. I'm reviewing Diamond Dotz branded products for these projects. I've included a variety of links for the products in the show notes. I selected these options because I use them myself. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I was going to use the same yellow butterfly for each video, but I decided to use the pink butterfly for this video. Wherever you choose to shop, as always, look for coupons, sales, and special deals. You can buy new basic diamond painting accessories or use the ones you already have. With all the methods, it's recommended to use protective film over the project to protect it from dust, cat hair, and whatever else might get caught on the adhesive. The official instructions also recommend rolling over the whole project with a brayer or a rolling pin at the end to make sure the diamonds are firmly attached. So let's talk about the snowflakes, using the sandwich style. As a test, I did a small blue snowflake ornament. The pattern itself is 15 by 15 diamonds, but with the white border that I added, it's 17 by 17 diamonds. The gridded fabric is 9 squares per inch. The snowflake pattern I'm using is in a cross-stitch program called PC Stitch. So I printed the snowflake at 9 squares per inch using the cross-stitch program's printer settings. Alternatively, I could have used Zoom on my printer's copy feature. This is the setup I used to create the blue snowflake. This is what it looks like partially done. I found that the blue snowflake was easy once I got the grid on the fabric and the grid on the pattern to line up. I taped the pattern securely to the fabric. I drew faint registration lines in the lower left-hand corner in case I bumped the pattern and the tape didn't hold. I also experimented with different levels of overhead light and the light pad. In the end, I used all the light I could get, but I think I could have used a lower level on the light pad and been fine. The small snowflake was fun and easy. Now let's try the sandwich method with the pink butterfly and compare it to the counted cross-stitch method with the yellow butterfly in the last video. Let's look at the pink butterfly design. The pink butterfly design that I'm using is from the Freestyle projects page on the Diamond Dotz website. When you're looking for designs, look for patterns with whole stitches only. I don't know how to do a half stitch with diamond painting. So how did I set up the gridded canvas and the patterns to match? I'm using Dotz Fabric Roll grid with adhesive, which is fabric with a sticky grid in the middle. This is the closest to working on a pre-made diamond art kit the way we've been doing up until now. In the last video, I used a counted cross-stitch method. I had my pattern on one side of the work area and the gridded adhesive fabric on the other side of my work area. As I finished setting the diamonds on the fabric, I crossed out the lines on the pattern. In this video, I'm using a second way to use the gridded fabric. I'm creating a sandwich of the gridded fabric, the pattern, and the LED light pad. The grids are 2.7 millimeters by 2.7 millimeters, or 9 squares per inch. Taking into account a small blank border for cutting, I estimate that I'll be using about 5 3/16 inches by 5.5 inches of the fabric for today's butterfly. The gridded fabric is 9 squares per inch, so I printed the pattern from the PDF file at 102% so it exactly lines up with the gridded fabric. I could have also printed the butterfly out on paper and used the zoom on my printer's copy feature to make the butterfly the correct size. The Diamond Dot website is very clear about the working size of the fabric. For instance, on the Dotz Fabric Roll Grid with Adhesive 12 inches by 19 inches page, the description clearly says the grid is 2.7 by 2.7 millimeters. This is 9 squares per inch. The fabric size is 5 by 7 inches. The picture at the bottom of the fabric description page shows the border around the working area. Take this into consideration when matching a pattern with the gridded fabric. Now let's talk about why we came up with 102%. The Freestyle chart Pink Butterfly is printed out at 10 diamonds per inch. The grid on the fabric is 9 diamonds per inch. The grid and the pattern have to line up for the diamonds to fit in the squares on the whole pattern. I am not a math whiz. Using multiple printouts at different zoom levels and my husband's help, we worked together to figure out how to match the pattern to the grid on the fabric. We printed page 2 of the Pink Butterfly at the custom scale of 105% in the printer's settings. We lined up the fabric and the pattern on the left side. The grid on the fabric and the pattern did not match up on the right side. The line for the last box was just too far to the right. So we tried 104%, 103%, and 102%. When we measured how many boxes fit in 1 inch, 102% seemed just right. There were 9 squares per inch, and when I put the light box, the 102% printout, and the gridded fabric together, the pattern and the fabric lined up very well on both the left and the right sides. Will it always be 102% with every pattern and every printer? Nope. I would redo this process with every new pattern. Let's start working on the Pink Butterfly. Let's look at the pattern for the Pink Butterfly. The Pink Butterfly pattern recommends that we start on the left-hand side. Now that the pattern is underneath the grid, we might not need to stay strictly on one side and move slowly over. We might be able to move around a little bit more. Just in case, if I think that I've missed any of my counting or any of my beads, or if I think that I've gotten mixed up in any way, I have printed out a paper copy of the butterfly, and that way I can double check when I need to. So I'm going to start out two, and if you said to me that watching that was a little bit like watching paint dry, I would understand. Basically, I'm doing the exact same thing I would be doing on a pre-made pattern. I'm looking for the correct color to fill in the blanks. Well, that was a lot quicker and a lot easier than doing the counted cross-stitch method. Having the pattern underneath the grid is definitely a lot easier. In this case, this pattern only has color and doesn't have any symbols. It might have been easier to do if the pattern had both, but I think I can deal with that. With the counting cross-stitch method, it took me a little while to get comfortable with it. With this method, I think I need to get better about lining up the colors and the grid. But I think that's the whole key. Once that's accomplished and you're very satisfied with where the grid is and you know where your colors are, this is a much easier method. So let's talk about the cost. The prices are as of early January 2022. Let's talk about the pattern. The pink butterfly design I'm using is from the Freestyle projects page on the Diamond Dotz website, so it was free. Let's talk about the canvas. I purchased one piece of 12-inch by 19-inch grid with adhesive fabric at Joann's for $6 after using a coupon. I'll be using this piece of gridded fabric for more than one project. Let's talk about the diamonds. The pink butterfly has 7 diamond colors. At $2 per bottle, that's $14 for all of them. I also used white AB and black diamonds in the background and border. That's $2 plus $3 at Joann's for a total of $19 for all of the diamonds. This could be less if you're using the bottle for more than one project or using recycled gems from another project. The price also changes if you buy diamonds from another source. I'll be using these beads for more than one project. Let's talk about finishing the project. We bought a wooden box at Joann's for $6.50. The Minwax stain and polyacrylic spray were $8 and $15 at Ace Hardware. I will be using these on more than one project. That gives us a total of $54.50 for the pink butterfly. This total assumes that you are using these items only for this one project, and that you are using all new items, nothing left over from another project. And keep in mind that the finishing items, the box, the stain, and the polyacrylic spray, are almost $30 of that $54. I'd like to say thank you to my husband for helping me complete the project. He definitely recommends trimming the fabric with a new blade on your craft knife. Was this fun? Yes, I enjoyed the pink butterfly project using the sandwich method. This was much easier than the counting method because I could see the pattern colors under the fabric. I didn't have to track my eyes over to the pattern on the side of the workspace for each row of diamonds. The sandwich method felt a lot more relaxed and went a lot faster than the counting method. And both butterflies came out beautifully, matching the yellow and pink patterns. My recommendations. I did a good job of matching the grids going from left to right. The grids lined up well horizontally, but not so much in the up and down direction. The grids weren't lined up well vertically, so the colors in each square were partly in the box below where they should have been. To counter this, I printed another copy of the pink butterfly pattern and referred to it occasionally for diamond placement. I don't feel that combining the methods and referring to another printed pattern is cheating, since it made the project so much easier. I will definitely keep a second reference copy of the pattern when I use the sandwich method again. My most important recommendation using the sandwich method is to take time to line up the grid both vertically and horizontally as well as possible. And if it doesn't line up perfectly, use another copy of the pattern as a reference when needed. Overall, I think this is the easiest way to use the gridded fabric with adhesive. So what comes next? So far, I've used the Diamond Dotz gridded fabric with adhesive using a counting method and using a light pad sandwich method. In an upcoming video, I will use the plain fabric without adhesive sandwiched over a pattern and LED light pad as we're doing today. I will also use the plain fabric with the pattern transferred onto it to help with diamond placement for a different effect. There is also a clear sandwich adhesive that can be used with or without a pattern to guide diamond placement. Diamond Dotz also has a glue to paint on surfaces with or without a pattern. I will have videos of all these methods. My goal is to try each product and each method to see what works well to make a project look exactly like a pattern. Then let's see what other effects we can get from using these materials in different ways. Will you try this? Will you try using the gridded fabric with adhesive and your own patterns? Have you looked at any of the patterns on the Freestyle projects page? What kind of designs appeal to you? Are you interested in the adventure of trying something new? What do you need to give you that last bit of encouragement to try one of these Freestyle methods? When you use these Freestyle elements in your own projects, will you use them in different ways? Will you try to get different effects? What seems interesting, challenging, and fun to you? If you have a masterpiece that you created on your own instead of from a pre-made diamond painting kit, please leave a link in the comments to your YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, etc. to share your beautiful work. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to working on more projects that you are interested in. Please like and subscribe and join us again for Suncoast Crafting.